Grogus and Grogras, please welcome to the stage, Watto!
Hello, London, hello. Quick question. Who here came to see the George Lucas talk show last night? My condolences. But with that comes a promise. Tonight's show will be fundamentally different. We have changed a few key elements. And look, this show is never the same. This is improvised. I know you're surprised. It feels so tightly scripted, even this part. But last night was a journey we all went on together. And I feel we feel stronger all together for it. And if you were not here last night, I guess in certain ways you're lucky, but also in other ways we all were hardened in the fire. We have a practical knowledge and intelligence that maybe will befit us for the rest of our life in terms of knowing which rubber character actors to avoid at all costs going forward. This is the George Lucas talk show, and tonight, here's my promise. Normal ass guests. Normal. Great guests, funny, charming, good credits, stories to share. But man, backstage right now felt like a fucking spa in there. Compared to the energy last night. This will be, in relation, it will feel like we are doing a live ASMR show. Here's the deal for those of you who don't know what we're talking about. Because I guess I should ask this question. I asked if anyone was here last night. Has anyone here never seen any form of the George Lucas talk show before? No, good. Don't be ashamed. This is where I educate. I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable. So here's all you need to know. It is a talk show hosted by George Lucas. So I'm going to... I'll give you a little more context than that. George Lucas, of course, retired filmmaker, billionaire philanthropist, experienced a great tragedy, and I don't want to bring the room down, the mood of the room down, but we should just acknowledge the elephant in the room. Star Wars was stolen from him by the Walt Disney Corporation, and almost as like a final fuck you, as a way to just light the match and throw it over their shoulder as they walked away. They gave him $6 billion. Was this contractually agreed upon, negotiated for months in advance? Yes, of course. But you talk to almost anyone on the internet and this was an act of great cruelty, of which he apparently had no agency. The point is, George had an absence in his life. He was no longer going to make films outside of the many films, independent, experimental films he makes and screens for his friends it doesn't tell us about. He needed a new avenue for his creativity. But he's always been behind the camera, moving the puppets, pulling the strings, saying the words like Cyrano. These beautiful romantic words. I don't like sand. I don't like sand. And he said, if only I could say that. He finally decided to step out and self-finance a talk show, where finally his sparkling charisma, personality, and ability to connect to any human being through conversation can shine through. So that's what you're going to see tonight. You're going to see real guests, two guests who have worked on Star Wars films, although I believe never worked with George, so it would be a first-time meeting. And let's just do the quick warm-ups. Mimi Mamomu, unique New York, unique London, What do you do when something funny happens? Great. What do you do when something very noble happens? When a brave act happens on stage? Good. 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 Don't boo that. I want to make it clear. If something good happens, do not boo it. What do you do if you have a guest on the show who will not let one sentence go by without trying to turn it into a double entendre, weirdly centered at the audience? Yes, good, great. This was a mistake to not establish this before the show last night. I don't think it will be a problem tonight, but I want the language established. I think that's all we have to say. Let's start the fucking show.
George Lucas.
Hello, I'm George Lucas, creator of Star Wars.
And I am Watto, announcer slash warm-up comic slash sidekick slash flying space Jew.
Thank you all for coming to our second night here at the Soho Theater.
Yes.
Very exciting to be doing live comedy.
There is that adage, of course, the old adage, first is the worst, second is the best. Now, we try to make every show the best.
Yeah.
But I think, comparatively, there's a good chance that the first night will have been the worst. On a relative scale.
I mean, we'll see. Who knows? You can often be surprised. Not every project goes exactly the way you think it will.
Do you know what last night felt like?
What did it feel like?
We were doing the trench run in the Death Star. And we hit the target, and we blew it up, and everyone cheered, and it all went fine. But you still kind of resent the fact there was a Death Star in the first place. That shouldn't have been our problem to solve.
Yeah. Also, it would be like, imagine if the last scene of A New Hope was the Death Star talking to everybody, saying what a great time they had.
Yeah. And then like,
And they're all like, really?
and then like the Death
Like, you don't
Star-
realize that you blew up.
Right. They go back to the rebel base and everyone's cheering, and then the Death Star shows up and it's like, so where are we going after this?
Yeah.
We are hanging out together?
Yeah, and then everyone's up in the bar later, and the Death Star just sort of looking around, and no one's talking to the
I
Death
know.
Star.
Like the Death Star thought people were going to cheer when they walked up.
Yeah.
As if we hadn't all just experienced this thing together.
And then at least one person observed them kind of just looking around, realizing no one was talking to them, and the Death Star just quietly left the building.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, last night's show went great, and tonight will go even better. George, you saw a show today.
That's right. I know everyone's celebrating Star Wars, but I feel like I've done enough celebrating of Star Wars, haven't I?
You went to Star Wars Celebration, of course, is happening here, the 2020 Star Wars Celebration.
I went there yesterday for a bit.
You went there for about 30 minutes. And
Yeah,
you
I-
said it was the worst experience of your entire life.
Let me tell you about my George Lucas's experience at Star Wars Celebration Day 1.
But no, you weren't invited. They made you buy a
They
ticket.
made me buy a ticket because I have no special privileges anymore.
No.
And I'm not on a panel till Sunday. So I went in, and there was a lot of waiting, and then a lot of walking, and then you'd walk to a new...
Queuing, George, queuing.
Queuing. In the queue. And then we got to a place, I still didn't see much Star Wars stuff. It felt like we're in a mall of some sort, a shopping center, an event center. And then I saw a place that was selling grilled chicken sandwiches. I thought, well, I could get one of those. So I walked over, and I looked at the menu. I thought, no, I'm not going to go with a sandwich. I'll tell you what, it says 5X buttermilk chicken tenders. So I thought, I'll get those. That's five of them.
I cannot wait to hear where this story goes. At this moment, anything could happen.
I paid for them.
Okay.
And then I stood there for, not exaggerating, 32 minutes. And they hadn't even begun to prepare them. And I finally had to say, I need my money back. I can't wait any longer for these chicken tenders.
Okay.
And then I left Star Wars Celebration.
Okay. So I want to be incredibly clear. You took a plane, you landed, you went straight to a convention center. Mm-hmm. You waited for chicken tenders. Too long.
Too long. At a certain point, a man's had enough. Not enough chicken tenders, but enough of waiting for them.
Now, can I ask, did you order them and then stand in silence for 30 minutes, or were you checking in occasionally?
Eye contact.
Okay.
Occasionally, every member of the staff would make eye contact with me. Something else was going on there.
Yes.
There was something going wrong because they didn't hesitate to give me back my money.
I'm just
I don't
saying-
know if this is a front for something else.
You texted Watto, I hate this place. I never want to come back here. And I assumed you were, at that point, engaging with the Star Wars convention.
No.
Not just a failure to receive chicken tenders in the vestibule outside the convention floor.
Yeah. I mean, I walked around, but I'm like, I already have all these toys.
Okay.
What is happening here?
Now, George,
So today I did not go to Celebration.
you went to see something.
I went to see another ILM, Industrial Light and Magic project, ABBA Voyage.
Yes.
Very good show.
Good show.
Waited less than I waited for those chicken tenders, and then I got a whole ABBA show.
Yes.
And
How
they
long
were
was-
de-aged perfectly. It was like double Irishman.
Double Irish.
Yeah, it's like whatever they did in Irishman, whatever ILM did in Irishman, double it.
Yeah. How is the posture? Did they have Irishman posture?
No.
Did their faces look young, but they were all standing like this?
No, they were dancing around like they were the age the digitally enhanced pretending was happening to simulate.
I do find it funny that everyone in the Irishman has Watto posture. They're all... George,
Yes,
tonight, the theme of tonight's show, if I can call it,
yes, let's call it the theme right now.
redemption.
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 Star Wars Redemption.
Star Wars redemption.
You've had Celebration down the river,
Yes,
but come here for Redemption.
redemption. that we're trying to correct some sins of the past, things that went wrong yesterday outside of our control. And you just brought the new one to my attention.
Yes.
Your failure to receive chicken. George, we may have a solution here tonight. Do you mind if I get a little cheeky for a moment?
Yeah, no, I never mind that.
Because I like to engage of the delicacies.
Yeah.
The finest flavors of any place I go to.
Watto, it's after 9 o'clock in Soho.
Yes. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. So I believe our producer, Patrick Cotner, his ears are burning and he's standing off to the side with a big bag of Nandos. Totally neutral, totally Nandos!
Nandos, 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 Nandos.
The Nandalorian.
Oh, you beat me to it. You beat me to it.
Hey, Nando Calrissian.
Oh, boy.
Try coming up with a third one now. Patrick!
Yeah, Patrick, what's the third one?
Didn't
Oh.
spill. We're
We're
good.
trying to correct the sins of yesterday.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm sitting too far forward.
Very entertaining, Patrick.
Thank you so much.
This is real skillful showmanship.
Thank you.
How are you, Patrick? Did you have a fun day celebrating Star Wars?
Yeah, I'm exhausted, but I had a good day.
Yeah.
It was. It's a lot. It's a real busy place, and do I like it? I don't know.
Patrick,
What?
I'm going to ask a real Patrick question.
Yeah.
This is the kind of Patrick question that comes out if you are in the room with Patrick Cotner and there is a silence of more than 3 seconds.
Did I buy this jacket and wear it on stage so it can be a tax write-off? Yes.
Nope.
Oh.
Here's the question.
What?
What was your favorite thing you saw today? If you had to pick one thing you saw today that you really loved, what was your favorite thing? Of all the things you saw today, what was your favorite thing you saw today?
Watto and I saw some cool creatures. Saw some cool Star Wars creatures. They put on masks and showed us how the masks work.
Yes. Can we remember any of their names? There is the one.
You're talking about the creatures or the people putting them on?
Creature.
Oh, I can't remember.
He's the one with the peg leg.
He's a peg leg in Maz's
Got
castle.
the peg leg, and he's on the ship that Finn is going to leave. Does someone here know? Oh, no, I thought you were pointing at something. You're holding on to the mic stand. This is a dead end. This is what we call, in the business, a conversational dead end.
Yeah, I call that character something like Peggy Thorpe.
That would be good.
Is that a pun?
What? Yeah, because a peg leg. So they call her
Okay.
Peggy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the last name's Thorpe.
Yeah, that's good.
This shouldn't require explanation. You have seen a Star Wars movie,
I
haven't
guess-
you?
Yeah.
I guess so.
This would not be weird if a character came in with one leg and they said, "My name's Peggy Thorpe.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome to Star Wars."
Patrick, that's my favorite thing is when characters in Star Wars introduce a scene like they're in Jackass. Hello, I'm Han Solo, and this is getting frozen in carbonite.
Just bring out our guest, George.
Lower octave, and I'll do it.
Just bring out our guest, George.
All right, go ahead, Watto.
I want to eat my sandwich. I think Patrick should bring our guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Katy, Kartwheel, and Dave Chapman! Oh my goodness.
Hello.
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 Hi, Dave. Hi, Katy.
Hi, George. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
How you doing, Katy?
Hi, George. I'm good, thank you.
You're already doing so well.
Killing it. Killing it.
Thank you.
I like the way you two entered. It was as if you've been exploring a cave and you just stumbled upon this show. You look so
were-
delighted.
Sorry, we were talking, and then we were like, oh, is that enough? We've got to go.
Yeah.
It was hard to find the entrance.
I could offer you a sandwich. These two hungry boys are already eating them. Would either of you like a plain Nando?
No, I'm good, thank you.
No?
Yeah.
I'd love to say yes, just so I could sit here eating, but I don't want any, thank you.
You don't want it? All right. Well, then
It's really, the audience loves it. It's like one of those things that really pops on stage.
yeah.
When the two people at the end just kind of hunch over and angrily scarf a sandwich.
Yeah. I think this is a visual cue of the ugly American.
Yeah. Taking up space, eating their food.
In front of everyone who's not eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had to offer a disclaimer before the show that food would be involved because we didn't eat dinner in time.
Did anyone assume we were giving out food or something like that? Is that what? Yeah, no.
We're not allowed,
I
right?
don't think we're allowed to give out that chicken sandwich, so sorry.
I believe there's a license. We'd have to get a license to give you food.
Did you guys know you need a license for everything here? Did you
Yeah.
guys know you can't allow children in places if you don't have a license?
Now,
Anyways.
Patrick, the way you said that was lacking in some key specifics. And in the gray area between some of those words, people could come to all sorts of conclusions about what you tried and failed to do.
Yeah. Also, let's take it easy, okay? America's a nightmare right now.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
fair.
bad.
That's
You know?
fair.
Not
And
good. Who
yeah.
are we to judge?
Yeah, we're not judging. We're glad to be here. It was a nice escape to have one weekend where we thought maybe none of us will get shot.
Yeah.
Like almost guaranteed.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's bad there. But it's nice here.
Great here.
Had so
Yeah.
much fun.
Yeah. I don't know if you know, right now in America, if you say you don't like it when everyone's getting shot, they say, like, you're fired. You can't have this job anymore. They throw you out of office.
They say your privilege is showing.
Yeah.
You love not being shot?
How-
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Must be nice. Katy, you were
Yes.
shot on a camera for the movie. Transition. It's a
I didn't
seamless
quite get that, I have to be
transition.
honest.
No, they went action, and the camera was rolling, and you were playing the role of Rio Durant.
Yeah, that's
in
right.
Solo a Star Wars. And I remember I saw this movie. George and I went to see this movie, and I turned to him and I go, I like this guy. This is my kind of guy. Rio Durant. This is my kind of guy. He's got a bunch of arms.
That's all you need, really.
A little space monkey.
Yeah.
And he's good at driving vehicles.
Yeah, he's very good at flying, yeah.
Yes.
Flies
ASOL.
fast.
Yeah, he loves to fly, he's acrobatic, great at cooking.
Yes.
So he's like the best chef in the galaxy.
Yes. But also, I mean, because your background is mostly in oh boy. Acrobatics?
Yeah, or you could say aerobatics.
Well, then I will. I hear you have a mixed background in aero and acrobatics. Is it
Aerial
true?
acrobatics.
Yes. But that's the thing about the Rio Durant is he's moving all around. This arm is grabbing this thing and this foot is grabbing this thing. He's like everything's a monkey bar to him.
Yeah, and that's actually what we did, you know, when we rehearsed, where there was monkey bars. I'm not joking,
Really?
they made monkey bars for me.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was great.
Did they let you keep the monkey bars when you were done?
Well, I ate them while I was there.
Oh,
No, no,
delicious.
I didn't get to take the bars home.
Yeah.
No. But I had to have thinner ones, like, you know, scaffold poles.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that.
It's basically scaffold poles.
Yeah.
But did you know you can get two thicknesses, like a thick pole
Yeah,
or a thinner
thin one.
pole?
Yeah.
And the thinner pole was much better for my little hands. So there you go. Yeah.
How did you get involved in the movie in the first place?
Through circus, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Aircraft Circus is a place where I train. And the director at that school rang me up and said, oh, Katy, you know, do you do stilt walking? Someone needs a short stilt walker. Yeah.
Okay, so at that point it was earmarked for that specific role. I feel
Also,
like
short stilt walker would be a good Star Wars character. That's a good name,
it's a good name.
right?
It's great, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you had
I'm
worked,
with him.
You had worked on a Star Wars movie before Solo. You're in Force Awakens, right?
Yeah.
You're the robot outside of Maz's castle. Am I right?
Yeah,
Great,
that's it.
great,
Huron
great, great.
327.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
We called him Big Red.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Very tall. That was the stilt walker.
That was the short
That's
stilt
how
walker.
you came in the first place.
That's it, yeah.
Yes. And then they went, hey, we seen you on the monkey bars. We know what you can do. I'm just realizing, George, you saying a short stilt walker sounds like a good Star Wars character name. There's so many elements in the production of a film that they should be using in the script. Like pre-production. That sounds like a Star Wars
It does.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah, pre-production.
Yeah.
Script supervisor.
Yeah, you just have a capital R in the middle of it and some hyphens.
Yes.
Supervisor. Supervisor.
Imperial Unit Production Manager?
Yeah. Anna Maddock.
I mean, George, of course, you remember Jon Favreau's character in the Clone Wars. His name is Pre Vizsla.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
You were there for all of that.
Is there
You were there.
That's
for
the
all
question? Do I remember that?
Of it. Sometimes it's a reasonable question.
Yeah, don't use this show to do dementia tests on me.
Both of you worked on Force Awakens.
Yes.
Was that the
Yes.
first Star Wars movie for both of you?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any fun memories of meeting for the first time?
But meeting for the first time.
Two of you.
Well, me and Katy.
Yes.
Why did we meet for
I
the
think
first
it
time?
must have been Abu Dhabi.
It would have been Abu Dhabi. Yeah.
Yeah,
We went
yeah.
to the desert. That Force Awakens was shot roughly chronologically, so we started in the desert. Well, I know you're very fond of living in the desert.
Love it. I vacationed there. I summer there.
So yeah, we were in the desert to start with, and then we came back to the Falcon. So it kind of literally for John and I think it was done for John and Daisy. I'm pretty sure because their first big feature, so they could track their performance without going, whoa, where am I? What sequence is it? You know, like, they're out of order, which is the norm for movies, obviously, as you know.
Yes.
Because obviously when you make
Well, and yeah, no, absolutely, and probably easier for BB-8 too, because it's harder for him to roll backwards. It's easier if you're going chronologically. It's all forward moving.
Yeah.
yeah.
We just miss each other because I stopped doing Star Wars movies like right before you guys started.
Yeah.
And it's weird because you say that going to the desert, like I went to the desert for some of them, but then the second we were able to not go to the desert, I was like, let's just film it out in the parking lot,
Yeah.
and we'll add sand.
Yeah.
But then you guys like went back to the desert, even though you could have just gone into the parking lot.
Yeah.
And then add the sand, pretend
Yeah.
sand.
Yeah.
But you wanted to go to, you were involved in real sand.
Yeah, real sand, which is not good for droids, incidentally.
How much between takes was it your job to get the sand? Because I imagine there'd be a lot of sand in between the head part and the body part.
There was a lot of sand everywhere. Yeah, it wasn't my job, but there
Whose
were.
job was it to clean the sand out?
Name
Well,
names.
Sand-
the two guys who are behind fabrication of BB-8, so they're not like cleaner guys. They're like geniuses.
I wasn't
So- No.
insulting them, but even if
No.
they were just cleaner guys, that's
Yeah.
still a noble job.
They vacuum him out a lot.
Yeah.
Because if you get sand inside the gear, it all goes pear-shaped in a major way. So
Did any of the BB-8s break to the point of they were irreparable? They were gone. They were.
Yes.
So how many BB-8s died in the making of The Force Awakens?
One BB-8.
One BB-8.
Yeah. Very
All right,
expensive.
we
That's
got to
it.
make an in memoriam because this is another omission. Oscars that year did not include the one BB-8 that didn't make it past production.
BB-8A. It's because at the end of the movie it says no human beings or animals were harmed in the making of this film.
Yeah.
And then Lucasfilm's been spending a lot of time in that wiggle room of no droids.
Yeah. Yeah.
These droids are thrown into the fire, so to speak.
Do you guys have a preference? Do you like being creatures or droids more? I'm hiding back here.
That's right.
Yeah, sorry.
Go on, Katie. What do you
Oh,
prefer?
that's a really nice question,
Thank
isn't
you
it?
so
Creature
much.
or droid? Ooh.
Ooh.
This is the most reaction I've ever gotten to asking a question.
Oh, creature.
I'm going to say droid because you don't have
Yeah.
to get inside.
You're just trying to be different.
No. Inside a creature is horribly, it's claustrophobic and stuff. And
It
you've
is.
got
That's
animatronics
why I
and
like it.
you can't breathe. Oh, you
Yeah.
can breathe, but, so I like to be sat outside of the character.
Right.
True fact. Not very funny, but true.
No, but it's like an internal versus an external process. A lot of actors are like that, where it's like they build the character from the inside out. Some pile on things, and they kind of hide behind the exterior of a character.
Right, that's me. There was digital skeleton, and then they added the fat, and then so I was a real inside out, and I let other people do the work. We're building off these questions. That one might take a little time to sink in. Building off of this question, BB-8 was like a series of different methods and techniques to bring him to life, right?
Correct, yeah.
Was there like, were there certain types of puppets and BB-8s that you preferred? Were there certain things where you're like, I gotta use this one?
No,
No.
not really. No. This is again boring answer, but there are
Yeah.
there were on Force Awakens. There's about 10 different versions of him, and they all do different things. And then there's one that's kind of a hero one that sort of does everything, which turns up at premieres and stuff because he's got all the things going on. But the one I want to say really quickly, what the one we destroyed was he's running through the Kajimi, or at the very start of the movie when he's telling them, look, there's something in the sky, and it was super fast. And then the JJ wanted it faster, so can it go faster? And it goes really fast, but he wants it faster.
It's a good direction.
So yeah. But it's your favorite direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
So JJ was channeling you
Yeah.
and said, can it go faster?
Yeah,
So-
but he's missing, you can't just have it go fast. You gotta have it be more intense.
So close and yet so far.
If you go too fast but keep this intensity at the same level, someone's gonna die.
Well, we did. The stunt boys gave us a jerk rig, which is a wire that.
A jerk rig?
Yeah, jerk rig, which is like.
Yeah.
In Potter, when
That's
they
also
fly
be a good Star Wars name.
But you know,
I'm Jerk Rig. I'm the villain.
do you know what one is? Shall I explain it, or do we?
Yeah, no, we want to hear it.
It's like in Harry Potter when they go backwards fast, like that.
Yeah.
They've got a jerk rig on them, which is a wire that's being pulled extremely high, fast velocity backwards, and that's how they go back. They've got a big harness on. So we tried it on the droid because we thought, well, if we put a jerk rig on and fire it really fast, it'll be fine. It went like zzz, and it went bang, bang, bang. Burst into like 50 pieces in about 10 seconds.
Oh, wait, that's the one who died.
That's the one who died.
Yeah, 50 pieces in 10 seconds. He dead. I don't know of any living creature that you can separate into 50 pieces in 10 seconds and he's still alive. I think he's gonna make it. All we have to do is reassemble these 50 pieces.
The hardest part would just be finding them in the desert. 50 pieces scattered about the sand.
Yeah.
We should stop laughing and show some respect for a brave droid who sacrificed himself for our entertainment.
So, did Big Red, there were no versions of Big Red that perished in the production?
No, I mean, I nearly perished. I did fall over once, I must admit.
Why? How?
Well, I was practicing. We practiced for months, actually, just
Makes
for this
perfect.
one walk. So no, there was one edition of Big Red. Yeah, one special edition.
Ooh.
There was quite a lot of room in there.
Yeah.
It was.
Flatterer.
There was quite a lot.
You know
of
exactly how to
space.
talk to me.
I could have had my own bar in there, to be honest with you. The shell was so big.
Yeah.
I had my two little handles there to move the arms.
And you
push.
started to fall over.
No, that was after. I'd obviously learned by then.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they put me on a line just in case, just because Harrison Ford was next to me.
Did Harrison have any interactions with Big Red? Like the off camera in between takes?
Yeah. He did actually. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
it-
Steve told me about that. Steve's one of the fabricators, wasn't he? Yeah, I didn't actually see Harrison Ford. When he came to interact, he just said, "How you doing in there?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm really good, thanks." Pretending it was really easy to be in there, and I wasn't really exhausted and sweating.
Yeah.
And,
You thought it was a person checking up on you. You didn't think
I
it was
thought
him.
it was just someone just coming along to say, how you doing in that, because there was
So you only found out later-
Americans, English people. No, hang on a minute, I'm getting there.
Yeah. I'm just so excited by this story.
Trying to build up to the story.
Yeah.
He says, "Can I get you anything?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll have some sweets, please." Because I think I said, "Oh, is that catering?" I assumed it was catering. That was it. I was like, "Oh, is that catering?" Yeah, I'll have some sweets. He said, "Sure, I'll be right back. I was like, oh, nice one, thank you. Yeah, oh, nice, cool. That'll give me some energy, you know, to do the next few takes. Walk, 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 back. Walk, walk, walk. Back. It wasn't that easy, actually, to be fair. And it wasn't until I came out that Steve, one of our very good friends, from the Creatures department.
So wait, so you two are probably two of the very few people who interacted with both versions of Han Solo. Right? Because you worked on Solo too.
It's fair to say.
There's probably not that many people.
Yeah, Alden and Harrison.
Yeah. Little baby Han.
Yeah, baby Han.
Yeah.
Baby Alden was.
So he didn't bring you the sweets.
No, he never came back with the sweets. Like, I came out of Big Red and then Steve
because
said,
Harrison gets the munchies sometimes.
well, no, I was quite disappointed I
Yeah.
didn't get my sweets, to be honest with you. You know, Steve said, you do know who that was that came over? And I was like, no, it was catering, wasn't it? But no, it was actually Harrison Ford, and I felt really, really like, oh, it's so lovely.
I remember hearing an interview with Tom Cruise. He saved the movies.
Heard of them?
Heard of him.
My buddy Steve said he saved Hollywood's ass.
He saved Hollywood's ass. And he meant that.
Yeah.
But he did an interview where he was talking about working on The Color of Money with Paul Newman. And they were shooting outdoors overnight. Tom Cruise is like, right? And he sees Paul Newman, the PA comes over in like a big parka and puts it on his shoulders. And he said, how did you know that you would need this? And Paul Newman said, 60 pictures, kid. And I think Alden Ehrenreich is a terrific actor. He's a terrific actor. But Harrison Ford's done over 60 pictures, and he learned the adage in Hollywood, always bring sweets to Big Red. It's one of those things, that's how you grease the wheels, that's what keeps the movie going.
Yeah, but he didn't bring the sweets, did he?
Well, sometimes it's the thought that counts.
That's not how it felt.
But it's nice that he knocked. That's polite.
Very.
You've got to count your blessings.
Yeah.
It was lovely. It was lovely to have the interaction I didn't even know that I was having.
He probably thought you knew it was him, and he thought you were joking, and he thought she doesn't really want sweets. She's just having a fun joke about asking Harrison Ford to go get sweets.
To be fair, I didn't actually want any sweets. I was just kidding to the catering man anyway.
There's another possibility here we should consider.
Yeah.
Which is, he went, sweets, got it. And then Harrison Ford went on a Harold and Kumar-esque journey. And he got a couple things in common with those guys. A very simple task like that might lead him to a hospital, being in a bush.
What was the difference between working with aged Han Solo? Han Solo in what turns out to be the final days of this character's life. Like, he's going to be a ghost so soon. This is the week that Han Solo transitions into being a ghost. That's the Han Solo.
I'm so close to retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you both work with little baby Han Solo. Just little teeny tiny.
The tiniest little baby.
Tiniest little baby.
The tiniest little 35-year-old baby.
Yes.
Han Solo, when he's like he doesn't know what he's doing yet, doesn't know who he is really.
Doesn't know his ABCs, his 1, 2, 3s.
How did it feel? Because I helped a little on that movie, so that's the one movie that we've all worked on together.
What did you do on that movie?
Okay.
Is it a long story?
No, it's not a long story. So you know the scene where Han's playing around in Lando's cape closet?
Yes.
And he's like looking like, what are all these capes this guy's got? This was at the point Lord and Miller were no longer improvising the movie. Because it's my understanding that every day that they were filming, they'd get a suggestion from the audience, and then they would do a herald. It was just a form of long-form improvisation invented by Del Close in Chicago and then brought to the New York City and around the world. And they would just film this, and it started adding up. And they're like, "Look, we've just got like 10 heralds. We don't have a film here."
I'm going to make the Kessel run, and yes, and I'm going to do it in 5 parsecs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wookiees, get in here. And so you were working when Ron took over, and And so we had the scene. So I was on the set, and I'm looking around, and Han's like going through the capes, and he hangs the cape back up on the Lando hanger.
Yeah.
And I said, Ron,
Old buddy, Ron's an
old buddy, old pal. I not sure Han Solo would hang the Lando cape back on the Lando hanger. He's kind of a scoundrel. He'd probably just drop it on the floor like, you don't care where these capes go. And they said, let's do another take. And that's what made it into the movie.
Additional material by George Lucas.
Amazing.
Yeah. So we all worked on that movie.
Yeah.
And I had fun because they listened to me and they did what I wanted. Did you guys have fun on it? How far in the process? Did you work in both phases of that movie? I know I was making jokes before, but I don't mean to, like, you can say anything you want. You don't have to say anything you don't want.
No, it's fine. Katie, do you want to talk about that? Did you work both with them, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you worked. Well, yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Check it out.
I mean, we both worked both of them
Yeah,
together as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you got anything to say about it?
Well, I loved working with Alden, I really did. He was it was amazing solo, I thought. And also, I knew it was him talking to me as well.
Yeah. That's all.
I could
What an
see
advantage.
him there,
Yeah.
and we talked like normal people. So yeah.
Yeah.
And no, he was fantastic. Yeah, little baby duck out of water. No, he was so professional. Like, come on.
Yeah, he was great. He was cool.
Yeah.
And the Miller Lord Ron Howard thing was like, it was Chris and Phil for the first half of the movie, and it was Ron for the second half. And when they go, oh, Chris and Phil are moving on, they're going to do another project or whatever, you go, I wonder who they're going to get. And then because of course they're very connected, they know all the directors. They say, oh, Ron Howard's coming tomorrow morning. And you're like, okay, it's going to be fine.
Yeah. And collectively, Lord Miller, Ron Howard, like, if you just watch all the films they've made, that's a great week of watching movies.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely.
They're all very talented guys.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah,
like Willow?
Yeah, I've only seen one Willow.
But you were involved in the most recent Willow.
Yeah, I did a little bit on the
But being involved in it isn't the same as liking it. Do you like Willow?
No, I've seen one. I'm in
Wait,
two.
you've seen the first Willow?
Yeah, I've seen the
movie.
I've seen the first episode. not
Yeah.
the movie. Yeah. But I've seen the movie back in the day, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, are you going to finish watching the first season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I get some time.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
we get some time,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
But were you a fan of the original Willow?
Yeah, I think it was because I was an 80s kid, so everything, like you're never more than 2 months away from a really cool movie. So everything that came out, I was like...
That is a really nice way of looking at the 80s.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of it, right?
Yeah.
There was this...
You were always a couple months away from a really good movie.
Yeah, so I did like the original very much, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what we were going to say about Miller and Lord and the guys. I can't remember now.
Oh, just that they were good and you liked working on both phases.
They were all, yeah. It sounds like a glib, like generic answer, but they're all super professional, great directors, good fun guys.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Lord and Miller, two people.
Yeah.
Team, right?
Yeah.
There's so many great directing teams, the Daniels, the Coens, people go, must be easier to delegate tasks, right? Ron comes in, he goes, hey, friend of the camp, happy to take over, happy to help out. At any point did they go, maybe bring Clint with you. Maybe we have a second director's chair. Maybe helps to have another director.
Yeah. If not Clint, why not bring in the duck?
Howard?
Yes.
Ron Howard the Duck?
Ron Howard and Howard the Duck.
Ron Howard the Duck is a
Why
great
would that
new-
not be?
that's
Why
a
would that not
great
be?
new character for us. Ron,
In case Clint's busy, Howard being the common denominator, it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be last names. It could be first names.
here's what I'll say. I understand that fan art is hard to do in person, but for when this goes on YouTube, I would love some Ron Howard the Duck fan art.
Yeah.
I would really love it.
And then did they say, by the way, if Howard the Duck can't do it, maybe the ghost of L. Ron Hubbard? Because apparently the game now is if you share any part of your fucking name, it works. I'm
That's
just
right.
throwing things out here.
Oh, you were saying because of the Ron. I thought you were carrying over the, and I was very impressed. The ghost of L. Ron Hubbard, I was like, wow. You got there from the? And I'm like, no, they're both Rons. I genuinely thought that was a very long walk very quickly. But it works either way. It's 2 words, actually, so it actually would make sense. Why is the ghost of L. Ron Hubbard co-directing this movie? 2 words. The and Ron.
Let's talk about Lady Proxima.
Oh, yeah.
We love Lady Proxima.
We simply have no choice but to stand.
She's a big old worm.
Yes.
She's got a bunch of bangles. What would you call those?
Yeah, she's heavily jeweled.
Heavily
Baubles.
jeweled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, baubles.
This is another. George and I see the movie, and I tap him, and I go, I like everything that's going on here.
Yeah.
You like Lady Proxima? Have you talked about it before? Have you talked about?
I think
I'm
Lady Proxima
sure
has
we have
come
talked
up.
about Lady
We did.
If not on the show, we've definitely talked about it off camera,
Yeah.
off stage.
Well,
And a
there's-
couple drinks in us. We'll talk about later.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's 2 incarnations of it. Do you want me to genuinely tell you? how it
Absolutely.
Yes.
no.
Yes.
I love Lady Proxima.
All of our here's what I'll say. All of our questions are genuine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just go forward
No,
with
fine.
that thought tonight.
Lady Proxima, there's 2 versions of her. One is a marionette rig with like 12 puppeteers marionetting her like an old school puppet strings. The other one is me inside on a fly harness inside her head, and her mouth is my hands like this.
Yeah.
And my head is just at the top of her head there, and then my body's in the skin of her. And then below me is another guy, Damien Farrell, Irish puppeteer, and he's like, my feet are on his shoulder. They're not really on his shoulders, but they're on a rig. But they're basically, his head is there, and the 2 of us are inside there. And that's pretty. What do you call it when you're deprived of light? And you must. What's it called?
Cruelty.
Sensory deprivation.
Sensory deprivation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to get used to go to the bottom in the morning, then get in your fly harness, zipped in the suit, and then go underwater. So like it submerges as well. So oxygen lines, and you have like.
And also,
you
the
know,
whole
it's
point of that scene is that she like has to live in the dark, that the light hurts her. So you come out of the water and you're in a set that's dark by design.
Yes.
Inside a worm casing.
Yeah.
I won't ask you to get specific, but have you been inside a creature before where you're like, this is not worth it? I don't need to know if who or where or what, but
No, because you're by nature of doing what we do, you
Sure.
have to be used to that. And you have
Sure,
to go,
sure,
okay, I know that I'm going to be, I'm
Cool.
not going to see dark.
Look-
I'm
it's
gonna
gonna
be in
look
the dark.
cool.
But yeah, it'll look cool in the
Yeah.
movie. And also you're seeing it, so you have video goggles, so you're seeing everything that the film camera's seeing all the time. So you know it. You're like, oh, this looks good, even though it's crazy.
I have a very personal question, and by all means, you can tell me if you don't want to answer, and it's fine, and the audience will not judge you. Okay?
Yeah.
The judgment will be on me if you don't want to answer.
Okay, what is it? What's it?
Have you noticed that Patrick has peri-peri sauce all over his
I thought I got it all.
And you don't have to answer, and no one will judge you.
I didn't notice. I didn't
Get
notice.
it? You did get it.
I got it
You
now.
have to understand, I didn't want to embarrass you.
I know, it's okay, it's fine.
So I thought if I
I'll see
asked
this.
you,
Hang on, I'll say this. Maybe 15 minutes ago I said, you have sauce on your nose very quietly, and no one had any
by
idea.
the way, I said, thank you very much.
Yeah. And Patrick,
Yeah.
do you know what the difference is? Watto's a born showman.
Yeah. You hear that pop? You hear that pop?
It was
that
worth
pop?
it. I get it. I
Yeah,
get it.
it's a little bit like if someone had come up to me after Star Wars and said, I wrote a Star Wars. I didn't tell anybody. I'd be like, congrats, buddy.
Yeah.
I made one and released it to the world. And we live very different lives.
Yeah.
Wait, I had the Lady Proxima question.
Yes.
By that I mean I have 5 of them. Lady Proxima,
Yeah.
how tall was she at her most extended state?
Like 16 foot, something like that.
Wow. And do you remember what the ultimate height was of Big Red?
9 foot.
Yeah, but I was on the flywire. She's balancing.
I know.
So you didn't have any wires on you for Big Red?
No, I didn't when I was rehearsing and walking. We
Yeah.
just did for the one shoot.
Yeah.
Just because Harrison Ford was
Yeah, yeah,
there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you have Big Red chewing gum over here? There's a brand of chewing gum called Big Red. It used to have a song. 'Cause-
Cinnamon.
They're actually
well, here's the
good,
thing.
yeah.
There's a brand of you don't have Big Red here?
Let's open
Okay.
it. No.
There was an
Okay.
ad campaign. I love kissing. And Big Red is a brand of chewing gum that their ad campaign famously one time was very it was like the kissing gum. They had a song that said that big red freshness gets right through it.
Yeah.
Your fresh breath goes on and on. While you chew it, say goodbye a little longer. Make it last a little longer. Make your breath long lasting freshness with Big Red. And they'd have people kissing in the commercials. So, did anyone try to kiss Big Red?
Well, I mean, I'd like to think that he had, you know, a lovely droid he liked to hang out with, you know?
Oh, are we talking in world?
No, I mean, Big Red's a load-lifting droid, so he's picking up all this heavy stuff and
Yeah.
carrying it from Maz's castle back and just, you know, when he's in the scrapyard, you know, he's got his, you know, bit on his
Or
side.
maybe he picked something up. Someone said, thank you. You know?
Big Red, would you mind grabbing my luggage, putting it in the trunk? You do that, the little kiss on the cheek. Thank you.
That's it. Put down the junk there. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. George, the funny thing about you just saying I love kissing is that the episode where that was brought up for the first time is not readily available to the public yet.
Everyone liked it, and they
I
have no
know,
idea what it means.
It's great. It's great. You're going to be so excited.
Shall I tell the audience what was revealed in a recent show? I think they'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
So we had an old friend on the show, Amy Irving, who is my buddy Steve's ex-wife. And so I spent a lot of time around...
Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg for the back of the room.
Yeah. Steven Spielberg, yeah, my buddy Steve. And so they knew me when I was married, then knew me after my marriage ended, and I was seeing other people. And Amy reminded me of a time that because Steve and I would go on vacations whenever a movie would come out. We'd go to Hawaii, we'd make sandcastles together. And on one of the trips, Steve's married, I'm not. I'm bringing my girlfriend, Linda Ronstadt, on the plane with me on the vacation. And Amy reminded me of the time when we spent 6 hours on a flight. Quote, sucking face.
Yes.
And my daughter was along, too. So they said it was really awkward just in the plane, in a private plane.
Yeah.
So that's how we established I love kissing. So that's why I asked about Big Red chewing gum. Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, ironically, in the course of telling that story, your face has turned bright red.
Because I'm feeling amorous now. I'm excited.
You're remembering your favorite
I'm
topic.
thinking about all the kisses.
Yes. Now, just to focus on two characters right now, right?
Yeah.
But with both Rio Durant and with Lady Proxima, they were voiced by different actors in the final film. Jon Favreau played Rio Durant. Linda Hunt played Lady Proxima, right?
Yep.
In the process of making the film, have they cast the voice? Do you know who it's going to be? Are you working on any temp track? Or are you just doing the performance and they have to match later to what you're doing physically?
Well, we do. You don't know who they are, so when you're shooting, you don't know who the person's going to be eventually.
Yeah.
Although on Andor, it's me. So I went, I wonder who it's going to be, and then it's me. But most of the time, you don't know who they're going to dub on that. And
Hang
you
on a
just
minute. Didn't you?
I did a temp
Weren't
voice.
you attempting
Yeah,
Rio's
I
voice
did
for a
do a
while?
temp voice for it,
We
yeah,
thought it was going to be you, Dave.
wow.
They
With
always say
English,
that.
an English gentleman's
To play
voice.
your
Wasn't
character.
It was like a.
It was for a while.
Can we
Rio or-
hear what the voice sounded like?
I don't know why they
which
changed
one?
it to Sean Favreau, because
Well,
Dave was great. John's
Rio,
great.
right?
He
Oh,
was-
Rio.
he was good.
It's okay if you don't
No,
remember.
because now I know John's version of it that I just did an impersonation of him.
Sure.
But it wasn't a million miles away from what he did. So that kind of wise guy, that sort of vibe. But I
Can you
can't
do
remember
it? Can you do it?
No, I can't
Oh,
remember
come
it.
on,
No,
Dave.
I can do Lady
Let's
Proxima.
take a line.
No, I can do Lady,
Do Lady Proxima.
Lady Proxima temp voice was like a camp English guy. So but it was supposed to be a girl, but obviously I don't have the kit. So it went, where'd it go? Did you get the money? It was like that. Where's my coaxium? It's all very kind of sinister and weird, and what they did was much better.
And
So,
wait, did you have a Rio voice you did on set with the other actors?
I knew the lines.
Yeah.
You know, but I didn't do the voice, obviously.
Okay.
But I didn't know that Jon Favreau was going to do the voice.
Yeah.
And I did all the acting, and actually, weren't you reading as well?
Yeah,
during?
I did temp voice
Quite
for,
often.
Yeah, I did a lot of. So when Katy was on, sometimes when I was on my own,
Okay.
I was doing the voice,
You-
and then and improvising, as you George talked about.
Yeah.
There's again when you're at work and you go. There's like Woody Harrelson, Tandy Newton, and Alden, and myself disguised as because me and Katy shared the role. So I'm disguised. When he's tall, it's me, and when he's smaller, it's Katy. So I'm stood next to it, and they're like, "Okay, let's try an improv take." You're like, "Wow, there's Woody Harrelson and Tandy Newton," and suddenly they're going improv, and you do step up to the plate, and you do it. But again, it's not what you imagine is going to happen at a Star Wars day.
Yeah.
Normally, it's locked, So
Yeah.
yeah.
You crack each other up?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Were there times where they have to go, cut, everyone's laughing too much?
No, well, sometimes. I mean, sometimes it got pretty, like, fun, because you get to take 10 or 12 or 15, and then people start mucking about a bit. But
Yeah.
for me, like, I'm just a regular Joe Schmo from Nowheresville, so therefore then suddenly you're there improvising with these big shots. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa. It was fun,
Yeah.
but, you know.
You've got to step up.
It focuses your brain first thing
Yeah.
in the morning, definitely, yeah.
So the two of you, are you saying that you played Rio at different heights?
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Well, Dave was Rio in disguise. So
Oh, sure.
before
yes.
Rio goes into
Right.
the AT hauler to fly,
Yes.
he is disguised. And he's
Bim
and
bam.
then
A bit of that's you as
I
well, though.
practiced.
You pull up his trousers.
Do you know what was so annoying about that?
What?
I practiced. It's so annoying.
Get into it.
I practiced Rio's walk for months and months and months, and then Dave, you did that scene, and I had to copy your walk
Yeah. Hey.
because you set the walk. All that
Yeah.
practice out the window.
Yeah.
It happens.
How long did you work on the walk?
Probably a couple of days. We do, because you offer things. You go, what about this, what about that, what about this? And then the director goes, oh, we like that, we don't like that. So everything's like meticulously, you guys know this, everything's meticulously, you really know this.
I
George.
really do, yeah.
Because everything's meticulously worked out.
I really know it. I really know it. Feel free to say no to this. Could we see some examples of walks? You're in heels, so I don't know if it's fair.
Yeah, well, I don't know how entertaining it would be, but yeah, I mean...
Well, it doesn't have to be.
Dave, you
We've
could
already
do the walk
entertained.
you did,
No.
and then I can copy your walk,
No, that feel,
like we did in real life.
Do we have to, George?
We don't have to. We don't have to. And it
I
sounds like
walked-
it made you very sad
walked
by
on the
even
sides-
asking.
No, you didn't. I walked on the sides of my feet because there's this thing of like his like monkey, his you know, the architecture of his legs is like boing, boing like that. So therefore, I was walking on the sides of my feet and giving that,
That
weird
was
monkey
it.
walk. Yeah,
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Why did you
Walk
set
like
that?
Hey.
Walk like that. That's
Yeah,
hard.
yeah. But yeah, all those things have worked out, and the whole thing of like his scale and his shape and his size, and could he really be inside this, and does it work? And you know, it is just me crouched down in a weird shape, and then obviously Katy, because you pull his trousers up, that's you when there. Do you know when you're walking in the?
Oh yeah, the hitch.
So some of that's you as well, and then when he gets acrobatic,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Katy,
that's
and
true.
it's no longer me.
But actually, it made sense that you do that because it's monkey legs, so they would be
Yeah.
monkeying out.
Monkey walk.
So you had a good thought there, really.
Look, I do think often these things turn out for the best, right? They find their ideal form. But I relate to your frustration, Katy, because I remember...
I'm not really frustrated anymore.
No, but, well, I was really... If I could tell a story about the time I was deeply frustrated. We were working on Phantom Menace.
I remember seeing you on that.
Yeah, big part. Number 12 on the call sheet. And I always find the walk is the key to the character. I find the character in the walk. And I spent 6 months doing walk cycles. And I really felt like I had something, right? And I remember, George is so busy, he's going from office to office. I'm tapping on the computer screen that I'm inside. Hey, George, look here, look at me. Can I show you a couple of walks I've been working on? And I do the walk for him. And George says, yeah, that's good. You have wings, Watto.
Yeah.
And then I went, all right.
Yeah,
I'm
no
flying
walking.
the whole
Fly
fucking
fly
time.
around.
Now,
My
Watto,
feet never touched the ground.
feel free to say no to this.
What?
I don't want you to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
Can we see the walk you worked on?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, I need some walking music.
Yeah. You want from us, or are you asking the tech?
Bum,
to-
bum,
No,
bum,
that's not
bum,
right.
bum,
No,
That's not right.
Yeah.
George, can you give me Joe Cool's theme music from the Peanuts cartoon?
Yeah. Bang, bow, bow, bow. Bang, bow, 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 bing, bow, 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 bing, bow, 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 bow,
Now,
bow, bow, bow.
Watto, can you do some of your lines while you do that?
1, 2, 3, bow, 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 bing,
No
bow,
money.
bing, bow,
No
bow, bow,
props.
bow, bow, bing,
No
bow,
deal.
bing, bow, 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 bow,
Hey,
bing,
your mind tricks don't work on me.
bing, bow, bow,
Only
bow, bow,
money.
bow,
Hey,
bing, bow,
where's
bow,
that
bow,
going?
bow, bow,
Going with my
bing, bow,
slave.
bing, bow, bow,
That was
bow,
a line we cut out of the movie. The last one we cut out.
Now, Dave, it was unfair before when I offered you both the opportunity to demonstrate walks. You said, I don't know if it'll be very entertaining. I don't think I made it clear that you could request music that would be produced on demand.
If I thought I could have Charlie Brown music, then maybe it would be different. No.
We can give it to you.
No, it's fine. No, but that was entertaining. Me
Yeah.
doing walk
You don't wanna
cycles is
talk, yeah.
trap. You don't need to see that.
Well, also, you do this professionally. You're not some trained animal that we drag out on stage and force to do tricks.
Meanwhile, I am truly programmed to do this.
Yes.
And nothing else.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, but of course, you film is a collaborative medium, and so it's got to be interesting. Is there a moment in the process where you lose the part of you that worked on it, and you give yourself over as an audience member to just seeing, for example, Lady Proxima or Rio on screen, and you think that's no longer me?
Well, yeah, and especially to build on George's question, film itself is collaborative. Every performer has to collaborate with the production, the camera team, editing, all of this. And then you, in doing sort of creature work and droid work, the performances themselves are also even more collaborative, because you're working with the materials, the voices are separate, you're both alternating, playing same character sometimes.
Yeah. So you're saying it's difficult when you watch it? Is it difficult to lose yourself in watching it? Yeah.
Or is it? I'm asking you to describe whether it's difficult or not. Is there a point where you let it go and you just see the character have a life of its own, or do you always hold on to the part of you? It's like that's X percentage me.
Oh no! I think you just dive in with both feet and go. This is when you're doing your part. You're thinking about the character from your point of view. But they are very collaborative. So, for example, BB-8 is 3 to 4 people working together simultaneously. So you're always thinking about the team, but equally when you watch the movie, you go, yeah, it's me up there. That's the good part. But yeah, it is very collaborative.
Do you ever see things in the final product and you see a mistake you made?
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you give to go back and fix it?
What would I give you to go? I don't think I've got that money. There's a couple of things that I look at, George. And do you look at your films from 1977 and think, the original? Do you think,
yeah, I'm still depriving the National Film Registry. Keeps demanding the 1977 Oscar-nominated work print of Star Wars for their archives, and I keep sending them the McClunky version from Disney Plus.
The perfect version.
Yeah, but sort of, it's weird answers. I don't know what Katy feels about this, but watching films is difficult to divorce yourself from the process because you watch it and you remember everything that happened on that day. So you have to really zen out and go, I am now in Star Wars. I am 7 years old again, but it takes a while.
Well, the nature of the work the two of you do, I'm digital, so I don't have this experience. But I imagine you watch scenes and you go, God, that hurt my arm so much. Like you're watching shots and you're thinking about like that neck positioning, or do you forget that?
I've got to remember all of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just can't help it. It's lovely watching it on screen and going, my gosh, we're actually on that, bit of soil, that land, some beautiful locations, like the west coast of Ireland, deep desert of Abu Dhabi and up in the Dolomite Mountains. I mean, you just can't help but just remember everything. And it's really nice seeing other scenes as well that I haven't been in, but been actually on the studio when they've been shot and having real clear memories, of them doing that particular scene. Been lucky enough to be there anyway at work and being able to just walk around, sort of help out, be there for the other creature performers that are in suits that day, which you can do. You just can't help it. You can't separate yourself from it. It's a lovely world.
Yeah.
Can we go through? Were there other characters that you guys have played? I know you've played some other ones, but I want to refresh the audience. Are there? Because you did you do the evil BB-8?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
That's the Last Jedi, right?
Yeah. He's called BB-9E, but the crew nicknamed him BB-Hate.
Yes.
Great. Why didn't that I would have bumped that. I would have bumped that right up the chain. I'd be like, did everybody hear that? It's in the movie.
I have a friend who always used to call him Bad Roundy. Which
That's good too. But the great
good.
thing is you can do it with the H and the number 8, so you can still make it like faithful to the
Yeah, to the canon.
BB-H8, and then some people get the joke and then other people don't, and that's what's beautiful. It's, as you say, it's a lovely world.
Yeah. On the subject of names, by the way, I was going to say this earlier, is sometimes the guys who put the Star Wars names together for the creatures and the monsters, they sometimes use our names. Do you know that? Have you covered that before?
Use
our real names. So I do a character in Solo that's called, that we nicknamed Mama Cass on the set.
Right.
And it's me, so Dave Chapman. And then in the movie, she's called Dava Casamam, which is my name mixed with
Yeah.
cats, right? With
Yeah.
Mama Cats, yeah.
We have fun, yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I really like B2 Emo.
Yes.
That's a great character name.
but why what do you think that's from? I don't know what that's from.
Because that character's like mopey and overly emotional.
He's in his feelings. His bang's always getting in his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have read that online, but that is not obviously it. I did.
Mom, I want to go to the mall now.
You don't think that's it? You don't think that's what it
No.
is?
No.
B2 Emo?
No. Do you
What do you
really
think it is?
it is? I have just a selection of letters.
Or just a random, it just sounds like an exact sentence?
Yeah, but
It just sounds like how many accidental sentences are the names of droids?
Yeah, but he doesn't.
Oops.
But he doesn't like listen to My Chemical Romance and have bangs and all that. He's just.
You don't know that. They just have a lot of story to cover. Maybe every time they cut away, he goes, playlist. Chemical Romance.
No, I don't know what. I don't think that is a connection at all.
I'll bet you $1 million.
Okay. We'll find out. We'll find out.
I'm
George.
shocked.
And
I'm
that's
shocked.
nothing
I'm
for
shocked.
you, George. That is nothing.
Parking ticket.
Bit more.
$2 million.
Thank you.
That never came up?
No, never came up.
And you think it's a truly randomized name.
Yeah, I do, and we'll find out. And I'm pretty sure it's random.
Dave.
But really, why would it be that?
Dave. Dave. You're being naive. Dave. You're missing the point
Okay.
of the character's name.
Okay.
Okay, look, this is why I'm inclined to agree with George, and not just because he created me and I owe him. But if his name was like Q4 Emo, I'd be like, coincidence. The word emo gets in there.
He's
But-
only sad in the last quarter of the year. It's a seasonal affective disorder.
Yes.
Droid.
If it were the Q4 emo, he would
The
have
holidays
seasonal
make him
depression.
sad.
Yeah, but that could be more of a coincidence. You landed on a funny joke. That
Thank
could be a
you.
coincidence. B2 emo sounds like a criticism. It sounds like you go like, "Hey, Shelly, what happened to that guy you were dating?" And she's like, "He B2 emo." At the end of the day, he B2 emo for me.
But B2 Emo does come in for a fair amount of criticism in world.
Yeah.
Because
I
the
never-
character is so sensitive.
Yeah, but I didn't think about this genuinely until now. So I'm going through. Well, maybe that is a thing. But
Yeah.
Dave, I promise you. I'm starting to get worried that you don't have people in your life who care enough to tell you this, that I have to be the one to tell you
it's true.
that
Nobody's
B2
mentioned it.
Emo, there is no way that
Okay.
this name made it all the way to Disney Plus
Okay.
as a coincidence.
Okay. I don't know.
And the point is, he's a great character with a perfect name.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good.
No.
That's
And
good.
people, who here doesn't love B2 Emo? No, who here does love? I realize I realize if I asked it in a rhetorical negative, the appropriate response would be silence, which would be very disappointing.
Yeah.
But everyone loves B2 Emo.
You know what you could call B2 emo?
What?
Good boxy,
Good boxer, yeah.
as opposed to bad roundy.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. And BB-8 is like neutral roundy.
I do also really appreciate, I don't know if this part might be a coincidence, but I think, did you ever see Disney's The Black Hole?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know you're gonna.
It feels like they're sort of commenting because The Black Hole was this movie that Disney was a Star Wars ripoff that came out shortly. There was that era where like Battlestar Galactica and a bunch of things came out right in the wake of Star Wars. And The Black Hole was very much like trying to be like, they were going in with the cute robots.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And B2 Emo feels like a really nice, subtle, there's a little hint of that black hole robot, whose name I don't even know.
Vincent?
Vincent, yeah, that is right. Yeah, I saw that online.
What's the joke?
It is an acronym,
Yeah,
isn't
the
it?
periods after each letter.
Do you want me to look it up? I'll
Yep.
look
Yeah,
it up.
find out what's funny about it.
Okay.
Does he sound like Vincent Price or something?
I don't think so.
Yeah?
He's a very spooky robot.
Yeah. But I like that it's sort of like now
Vital information necessary centralized. And the scent is the scent in Vincent. Like centralized.
Perfect. I take it back. That's great. Good job.
Funny.
Hey, you can like the Beatles and also love the Monkees. But it's nice because now they're all under the same corporate umbrella that like the black hole characters could start showing up. You know, like
Yeah.
it really could happen.
Yeah, that one, the closeness to Vincent, or because he's red, right? Because Vincent's like a big,
Yeah.
chunky,
Yeah.
floating
Yeah.
around.
And it's
He's
a
like
sor-
you.
Yeah.
He floats around, right?
Big chunky.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't he float around, Vincent?
I don't know. You think I watch the black hole a lot?
I have no idea.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he did float. But yeah, he's just because he's red. There was some other comparison made to something else that I've forgotten
Yeah.
as well.
I
What
can't
was
believe you didn't push back on this at all, and you pushed back so hard on the name.
it? I just never thought about it until you mentioned it, George.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, anyway, I love the character, and I love the fact that he brings some whimsy to a show that's very stark and serious. Like grown-ups really like it.
Yeah. Grown-ups like it. I know grown-ups like it. And also, he it was a great job to do, because we were talking earlier about doing guide voice. And it was a guide voice. But then it turned into his voice, which was amazing. Because normally, you're doing it and you're giving it large every day and thinking, oh, maybe this one time they'll choose my voice. And then they did. So I just went and dubbed a couple of lines. But otherwise, it's all on the day. You're like doing the voice at the same time as running the droid.
Any lines that didn't make it into the final? Any things he said that didn't make it in that you want to share?
No, there isn't. I don't think. Oh, you want to hear me do?
Yeah.
Oh
Absolutely.
God, how's it go? It's really hard to do.
Go on, Dave, you can do this.
Where were you? I cannot help you. I don't understand where I am right now.
And forgive me for this. I just wanted to clarify this because I have disagreement with a pal of mine. He's not a Roomba, right?
He's not what?
He's not a Roomba. Like he can't vacuum stuff up off the
No,
floor.
he can't do anything. No, he
Yeah.
he is like a house droid, but he's not. He doesn't do housework.
Yeah.
Who's your friend?
Brian De Palma.
Brian DeFarmer?
Oh, what time is it in Soho now?
Wait, we got sidetracked on the question. Are there other characters we haven't covered that the two of you have played across the Star
Yeah,
Wars?
I've done the caretakers.
Oh, on
Yeah.
Acto!
Yes.
Whoa.
The nuns.
Yeah, they was beautiful. They were kind of, bird, fish, frog type
Yeah.
things. Yeah, in nuns' outfits. Yeah, really, they're really cute. I mean, after doing Big Red up on stilts, I was really pleased actually to have my feet on the floor.
Yeah.
I felt very lucky.
But
And
it's very rocky and hilly there, right?
Oh my God, it was insane.
Now,
Yeah,
was
the
that a
set was
set that you
absolutely, it was very, these steps going up very high, cliff edge there going really far down into the most beautiful turquoise water. It was just absolutely stunning. And no word of a lie, they actually had a ship in the water to stop any paparazzi.
Wow.
A ship.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
block it out.
Just in the sea, circling around, just to make sure that it was kept secret. Because, the set, you could see the set from the sea. You could see the whole thing. But from behind it was covered, so... so it was amazing how they built that. I mean, gosh, you could have only 100 people at a time on the set.
Yeah.
And the ingenious behind, the scaff frame that's holding out these amazing little hobbit homes. I'm not sure what you call them, but you know what I mean, don't you? The wonderful little homes. That,
Like little Jawa Ewok huts, sort of.
Oh, they're just beautiful. I mean, just the set. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, trying to climb the stairs. Again, like Dave was saying, with sensory deprivation. I mean, I didn't have the water element, but I certainly couldn't see or really breathe. I'm laughing, but that really is how it is, But and then climbing stairs at the same time, So this is where the who was it now? Who was doing it? Mark. Who was doing my remote control. So he was in control
not
of.
Mark Hamill. Although maybe.
Mark Hamill was just amazing,
Yeah,
guy.
good
But he's
actor.
so open as well. He's so friendly, He just says hello to everyone.
Mark Hamill's like a teenager. He talks like, I can't believe I'm in Star Wars all these years later.
He does do that.
That's good.
You're so good at doing impressions. It's absolutely insane. So Mark's in control of the control, and opening and shutting my eyes and my mouth, making it smile or whatever. And literally, I can't actually see out of the eyes anyway, because they're glass balls and they steam up really quickly.
Yeah.
Because you sweat. Yeah.
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 Sorry, it's just Watto's nature.
Yeah. You spend just like 5 seconds in there, they've steamed up.
Yeah.
So you can just see through the mouth, and then, you know, obviously, to make it realistic, you know, no one just sits there with their mouth open.
But maybe
It's
the
like-
caretakers do, and you could have set that piece of canon.
Yeah.
You could have said caretakers only have their mouths open.
I could mark, just keep the mouth open so I can see.
So Mark, I have a take
I mean,
on
how
the
old
character.
is it?
Mark,
Yeah.
just hear me out. I got to take on the character. She is constantly so surprised by everything that is happening around her.
But yeah, so obviously he has to shut the mouth, you know, to make it look. So I'm like, okay, step, yeah. Oh, damn, blind.
Right next to those cliffs.
Yeah, oh, it's great though. I loved it. I got through it just by you act in your head, you know. I was like saying things, oh yeah, and now I'm going up here, and I'm going to pick up this little stone. Katy, we can hear you. We've got some really important dialogue going. Just shh.
Now, like we asked if any BB-8s blew up, exploded, did any caretakers fall off the cliff?
No.
Okay. Great. You heard it here?
Also, less funny
I flew off
question,
the
'cause
cliff, you
people
know,
were
in my
inside
spirit.
the costume.
Yeah.
We would have been terrified if she
Yeah.
said yes. You said,
I think wasn't it actually Luke Skywalker went down the cliff, didn't he, to go fishing?
yes. Yeah, that Paul, he did
Yeah.
this.
That amazing fish he caught. I
Yeah.
thought that was really
He
impressive.
went down for some for a beverage.
That's it.
Wanted something to drink.
Got some milk.
Yeah.
That is some of the coolest shit
He
to ever
milked
happen
the
in a
he
movie.
milked the
Yeah.
cow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there's a deleted scene from Last Jedi where Luke Skywalker plays a prank on Rey. This is true. You can watch it. It's in the extra scenes. I'm going to spoil it now, so you guys should have clicked over that tab to special features. But this, I'm going to describe this to the best of my memory. He basically says there's like a massacre happening down there, and Rey runs down to rescue them, and they're having a party. And
Oh, the party
the
got
party scene.
deleted.
yeah.
Swinging seaweed about.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he makes Rey look like a fool, but also genuinely makes Rey think that the caretakers are being slaughtered.
That was such a fun scene. I really, I was so sad that got cut because there were 20 caretakers in that scene. You know, and actually in the movie we end up with just a little sprinkle of caretakers.
Yeah.
But in that there was just swinging these things around, which I loved because I was doing circus. I'm like, yeah.
So there
All
were
day long.
there were 19 other caretakers.
Yeah, there
What
were.
was the vibe like when you were all hanging out?
It was just like one big party, but we couldn't see each other, so it's like a blind
Right.
disco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say I'd add that back in, but they won't let me in the building. It's fun because you don't. How often does Luke Skywalker do incredibly cruel pranks? I mean, you never see it happen. And I feel like it adds a dimension to his character. I feel like everybody's walking around thinking, like, if you go up to most Star Wars fans and say, "Do you think Luke Skywalker plays incredibly cruel pranks?"
Yeah.
People say, "No." Luke's a nice guy all the time. Good boy.
Like the feather prank is pretty mild. He does the prank where he tickles her with the feather and says that's the Force.
Yeah.
That's not an incredibly cruel prank.
That's very mild.
Mild.
Mild prank.
mild. Almost as mild as the sandwich you have not taken one bite of.
He does that prank where he takes Baby Yoda and then almost immediately gives him back.
Yeah, that one's
That's
not
a funny prank.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other pranks he does.
He kisses his
pranks.
sister.
He pranks. What?
Kisses his sister.
Yeah, he kisses
He
his
says,
sister.
I think it's okay to kiss you.
Yeah. Yeah. He pranks Jabba. He shows up acting like, right? He shows up in the hood or whatever, then reveals himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He pranks those piggies that guard Jabba.
Yeah.
Does little pranks on them.
Yeah.
He pranks his dad.
Yeah.
Shows up like he's gonna fight, and he's like, "I won't fight you." Shows up for the fight scene.
Yes.
This is, "I won't fight you."
Funny.
Yeah. Because they're looking forward to the fight.
Yeah. He sent Luke a letter and he said, "Dear son, do you want to fight? Check yes or no." And Luke checked yes, and
Yeah.
then showed up and went, "Psych."
I won't fight you.
Oh, come on.
Now, Dave, we're talking about funny puppets and creatures on an island, and you also worked on Muppet Treasure Island.
What?
Yeah, it's my first movie.
Dave,
Let's hear
I
about it.
was
did
a
you
young-
play?
Oh, I wasn't very important. I was all background characters: raccoons, pigs, chickens.
Great.
All the background stuff. And occasionally you get to be like a right hand for somebody big and famous.
You're saying pigs and chickens unimportant in a Muppet movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, and you were like, I was so unimportant and immediately disclosed that you were a right-hand man.
Well, no.
What sounds more important than that? It's my right-hand man.
Well, like an assistant. So puppeteer entry level job is being a right hand for somebody.
Yeah.
So like if you've got two live hands, like Swedish Chef has live hands,
Yeah.
then you'd be a live hand.
Every
And if
every
you've got a-
puppeteering job is entry level. That's how you make the puppet work.
Yeah, I like it.
You got to enter from a lower level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did. But yeah, it's background stuff in windows and little raccoons running through shop stuff. And I was 20. I was like 21, and I was like, wow, I'm on the Muppet set. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But it was a really hot summer, and the island, the kind of the water around on the soundstage got really stinky because it was a really hot summer. So every time you see the movie, you just remember the smell of acrid, disgusting pond. Nowadays, they'd be like all sort of like chemical, like treated every day because all the health and safety regs have changed. Right, I think. Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah. But it was amazing. It's Billy Connolly and Tim
Yeah.
Curry. I mean,
Yeah.
like Tim Curry. I mean, Billy Connolly every day. You're like, that guy, you know, I watched him on TV since I was a little kid. One of the best stand-ups in the world. And same
Jennifer
with
Saunders is in it?
Yeah.
Jeff
too,
Saunders is in it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Kevin
yeah.
Bishop,
Kevin Bishop, who
Jim
weirdly,
Hawkins, baby.
he came to the set of Dark Crystal with his kids to
Oh,
show
wow.
them how puppets work because he was like, this is what I experienced when I was young.
This was the recent
Yeah, the
Dark
recent
Crystal
Dark Crystal
Age of
novel, yeah.
Resistance.
Yeah.
Who did you play in that?
I play Ordon, who is the hero's father, and I play Gurjin, who's the hero's best friend, and I play the Emperor Skeksis, evil king of the Skeksis. Yeah, so I was like inside that forever. Like Katy was saying, that thing of sensory deprivation, Skeksis is crazy sensory. You can't see where you're going. You can't hear anything. It's crazy, and your arm's up there because that's your head, you know. So yeah, great fun. But
Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
It is both great fun and
Yeah.
really hard, but that's what makes it fun, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the few things that is simultaneously fun while also being literally a torture position. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Fun
one of the
whilst
things
being
that
in
if you were held
torture.
prisoner by someone incredibly cruel, they'd say, put your arm up like that and hold it.
Yeah.
Not
Makes
too
you question though psychologically in like medieval times when people were on a torture rack or in an Iron Maiden. If you handed them a puppet, maybe they wouldn't have had such a bad time. Maybe that kind of cuts it a little bit.
I wouldn't say it would cut it, but it would have made a lot of other people happy.
That's true.
And maybe millions of people happy, which is part of the Muppet credo.
Absolutely.
You know? That's the reason for doing things. I mean, we're not justifying torture by any means. It's
Now-
wrong. We want to be on record with
Yeah.
that
George Lucas talks
completely.
about firm anti-torture
No,
stance.
thank you.
Nope.
None.
I don't,
No
wait,
good.
Patrick, we don't need to be polite. We're talking about torturers.
Yeah.
No.
Just a solid no.
No.
If I'm talking to a torturer,
Yes.
I drop the pleasantries. I just say
Yeah.
no.
How
No
about,
torture.
You know, let's get aggressive with it. Let's say George Lucas talk show to torture says, fuck off.
Yeah. Fuck right off.
Fuck right off.
You wanker.
Yes.
Now, Dave, I'm going back to Muppet Treasure Island. Frank Oz was not around a lot for Muppet Treasure Island, I don't think.
No, that's weird that you know that, but that's correct.
Hey, I'm a weird guy.
He was directing a movie. I
Yes,
can't remember which
but
one.
then you got to work with him on Last Jedi.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was amazing. He is my hero, obviously, because the greatest living puppeteer, Jim Henson, obviously passed away way too young, is Frank Oz for television and film work. And he's Miss Piggy, and he's Cookie Monster, and he's Fozzie Bear, and he's Animal, and he's all these things, and he's Yoda. So yeah, it was like I don't know how to describe it. I suppose like a young footballer playing with Pele, or a middle-aged footballer playing with Pele, or something like that, where you just go, I'm with Frank Oz, and he's hilarious and charming and funny and very goofy. Like he's very naughty.
Yeah, yeah.
So he plays pranks on people on the set, and he plays pranks on you. And he's just funny. It's like you can't believe that he's the same guy. I pointed at a picture of him. I got this picture on my phone of him in the 1950s with Jim Henson doing like TV in the 50s, and I was going, "That's you. That's the same guy. You're still the same guy." Because he was like, "Oh, you think that's funny?" I was like, "No, but it's you." You're like, because I looked at him in pages of books over the years, and he's amazing. I mean,
You thought you were pranking him?
No, no, I didn't think I was pranking him. He just was like, why do you think it's weird that I'm the same guy? Because to me, like whatever it was, like late 50s, early 60s, him and Jim were working together. Yeah. That's when I was a little kid, that seemed like forever ago. Yeah. And then here I was working with him, and he's still the same funny, talented, amusing, amazing puppeteer. So
now, he hadn't done Yoda as a puppet in close to 20 years.
He had not done any form of puppetry in the bit.
No,
at that point, for the most part.
He stopped doing Muppet characters. Quite a long time ago. I think the last Muppet movie.
I do. For any of you who enjoy Cookie Monster, who might not have seen, I think one of the last Frank Oz Cookie Monster clips, which was with Martha Stewart, and I highly recommend whatever you're doing next, cancel it and watch this clip, because it is. Not that Cookie Monster is a character. I believe he works a food truck now, and now he's become like Cookie Monster because he like cooks food. He doesn't eat cookies as much. This, I believe, is because Frank Oz took the character to what now we would say is the end of the character arc for Cookie Monster, because Martha Stewart has to eventually tie Cookie Monster up because he's begging so frantically for cookies that it is like something out of The Wire. It is like watching an addiction narrative reach its dramatic peak.
Please give me the cookie. Please,
nobody,
just begging.
like, we hope that I like to think that post Oz we're seeing like Cookie Monster like fully recovered, doing the work. Just like, yes, I mean, unlike other forms of addiction, cookies are sometimes food for him now, which that's not how addiction works. But watch this clip, because he is, at some points, Frank Oz isn't even saying lines. He's just going, he's just like, please. It is so funny and so harrowing, and clearly after that, there probably was a choice made, like, this isn't teaching children anything anymore. And you can't go any further with the characterization. It truly has completed itself.
It's good.
Yeah. Well, guys, I gotta say.
That was insane.
What was?
That
Let's talk about
performance,
that.
it was just,
Oh, I only recreated a tiny minute. You gotta watch the clip.
I don't think the clip's going to be that good.
Trust me. Thank you so much. I mean, I've appeared on Just Shoot Me, and I was in Beverly Hills Cop 3, but I'm not an actor. I leave that to the professionals. And I have to say...
I'm sorry, I don't want to blow up his spot, but the two of you must remember his performance in Beverly Hills Cop 3, right?
Did you finish? Have you ever seen Beverly Hills Cop?
Yes, the first one.
But it's a trilogy.
Yeah, I know.
You have no idea how it ends.
No.
I don't remember seeing...
I'll check it out.
Okay. I mean, do you want to see it?
Imagine
Okay.
if someone
Sure,
asked
sure.
you, have you ever seen Return of the Jedi? And you went, yeah, I know how it ends. I saw the first Star Wars. Luke doesn't have a dad, and he kisses a lady who isn't his sister.
I see.
Yeah.
I need to check out Beverly Hills Cop.
It's even more confusing than that, because it's like if somebody asked you if you'd seen Return of the Jedi, and you said, no, I saw the first one, and then you said that, because that's not the first one. Phantom Menace is the first one.
I got it wrong.
Can we see the character?
Yeah, is the character here with us tonight?
Oh, yeah. So the context, for those of you, this is mild spoilers for Beverly Hills Cop 3. It's largely set at a theme park, and I play a man who's in line. He's there with a woman. They've been kissing. And that you don't see any of that, but prior to this scene, they've kissed for 6 hours straight. And he's ready for more. But they say, let's go on this ride, and they're in line, and Beverly Hills police person, Axel Foley, cuts the line, and I say, hey. And then he gets on the ride.
Take a bow, George. Take a bow. Come on. Let's get a spotlight on him. Give him the bow. There you go.
Now,
But how come it's always about kissing?
Well, because kissing is about love, and everyone deserves to be loved. and love is the answer. Love is all around us.
You're bringing tears
It's
to my
everywhere we go.
eyes.
Now, George, not to put you on this spot even further.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that character was very limited in his appearance. There's all this backstory you clearly worked on, like the kissing that was off screen. He's mostly standing in one place and then pushed out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you ever at any point work on a walk for the character?
Yeah.
And do you want any music to accompany this?
Watto, if you could give me the theme for Joe Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, ready? Joe Cool, back in school. Anybody what I'm playing it cool. Joe Cool, just relax. Better take it easy.
Oh boy.
Do you two, either of you, have anything you'd like to plug? Any projects?
Yeah, I do.
Yes,
I do.
yes.
Assuming she hasn't left the auditorium,
Uh-oh.
I would like to say hi to my mum.
Whoa!
Nah, I'm just kidding. It's not my mum. It's not my mum. So I just had to say that. But my doubles trapeze partner is in the house. Come on, Michaela, where are you?
Michaela! Back there, straight in the back. Straight in the back.
Oh, is she at the back? So yeah,
Michaela.
hey, word up, Michaela. Woo, I love
Very
you.
good. A
So
plug,
I wanted to
a plug
plug-
and a prank.
2 peas in one, yeah. We are like 2 peas in a pod, actually.
Wow!
Come on, yeah. No, she's I absolutely love her to pieces, and we've been working together for a few years.
Hopefully not 50 pieces in 10 seconds.
Oh.
Never would
Yeah.
we do that.
Don't love her to pieces
no, because
like
we're
that.
full of love.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
that's
we
why
feel
the
the love.
kissing. That's why I kiss.
That's it. That's why we do the kissing thing.
Dave.
Dave.
No, George, I have nothing to plug. I'm not on social media. I'm just hermetical and
But-
hiding out.
But Andor is going to be returning
Yeah.
for season 2, and
Andor's
that's something you could plug.
Yeah, that'll be the beginning of next.
You got weird things on Disney Plus over here. I was looking around. I saw a
Yeah.
poster today that the menu with Ray Fiennes is on Disney Plus.
Wow.
And everything in the US they split it out, so the kids' content is on Disney
Yeah.
Plus and the adult content's on Hulu, right?
Yeah.
But over here we just have it all. Pam and Tommy right next door to Star Wars.
Yeah. But you can promote, even though there's not a date for it yet. Andor
Yeah.
season 2.
Yeah, I've just been doing a thing that I can't promote because it's all Secret Squirrel, like the entertainment industry is.
Secret Squirrel is a
that-
phrase that people
Well,
use, or is that
no,
the name of the
it's
project?
No. It's my
all
way of
secret.
saying.
Your way of saying I can't talk about it.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
signed legal documents. So you
Yeah.
call that Secret Squirrel?
Yeah, like the.
Does
content
everyone
creator.
do that, or you
Just
do that?
me, I think.
I just need you to understand. There's no way you could have known this.
What?
But for George and I, and maybe to a slightly lesser extent, Patrick,
Yep.
the notion of there being a live-action Secret Squirrel
Oh, it's
project
exciting.
is the most exciting thing you could be working on. So the idea that you are being secretive about the Secret Squirrel project, we're now going to be disappointed whatever it actually is.
No, well, it's not a Secret Squirrel, but that'd be good. You should do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I have nothing else other than Andor and the secret thing I can't tell you about. But it's going to be great. They're both
Right.
going to be great. Andor season 2 is great because that's the story, right? You go Andor season 1, Andor season 2, Rogue One. So,
We know how it
right.
ends.
You know, that's it.
Yeah.
We know the
And
ending.
that's how you have prequels and a trilogy all in one.
Yeah.
Both things
True.
I like a lot. Dave, you do a trilogy and it's got prequels in it? I'm there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show and not ruining it.
Delightful guest.
Yes?
Can I
Yes?
say something? After the show, we'll be up in the bar and we have posters that we're selling and signing and stuff. So come say hi to us. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being so lovely. Thanks for everyone for coming out. I believe we're doing a panel tomorrow morning at Star Wars Celebration.
11 a.m. Star Wars Minute. You can come see George, Watto, and Patrick, whether Star Wars Celebration wants us there or not.
Thank you very much, everyone, and may the Force be with you always.